What's up guys, Rob at Optimal Bodies, sponsored by Damn Fitness, you see on the vest. Cheers for the vest guys. Check them out at damnfitness.com and give their Facebook page a like and share it and spread the message, get some good clothing out there, some good gym clothing. Okay, so today we're going to do part one of a 3-part series on what I think is probably about 90% applicable, so it's applicable to about 90% of the population that I see, that I read about, and the people you see that are just trying to get in shape, that they can use for general fat loss, health and increasing muscle depending on their starting body composition, etc. But mainly this is going to be for fat loss, and we call it toning, but it's you want to see muscle tone, but the only way of doing that really is to lower the body fat. So you can see everyone's got muscle tone underneath the body fat. So when people say toning and fat loss, it's basically the same thing. So we're going to apply this to fat loss, and if you follow my other videos and my posts and my business page, you'll see that I'm quite favourable of a high fat diet, so often called a ketogenic diet, with various refeeds of carbohydrates. So, and not everyone even knows what fat, carbohydrate, protein, etc. is as a food. So this is part one, is going to be basically just a shopping list. So you don't have to worry about, oh, what should I be eating, what should I be. So I'm going to give you a list of basic foods that are high fat, ultra low carb, and usually if it's high fat, it's probably got a good amount of protein in as well, that you can buy and that you can have in the house, so you know that you've got the right starting point. And then you can design meals yourself. Try give some ideas for that, but try design meals yourself. Keep it interesting, and that's usually the way people stick to diets. They don't get bored. So we're going to go through a little list that I've made. Simple foods that you can buy and have in the house, and then you can put them in any sort of way you want to make as food. Before you have to start adding things up like calories and macronutrients and things, just starting by eating these foods, and then I'm going to give you general carbohydrates to cut out that you can put together. So, first of all, generally meats. So you've got sausages, steak, turkey, chicken, bacon, lamb, things like that, beef, things of that nature. They're going to be high fat and low carbohydrate. And just as a caveat, just always check carbohydrate content, because a lot of meats, like if they're maybe burgers or sausages, things like that, and even chicken, can have carbohydrates snuck into them to bulk them out and maybe make them taste a bit nicer. So just be aware of that. So you always just check on the back. And usually, as a rule of thumb, if it's under like 5 gram of carbs per 100 gram, it should be well under that. That's usually your best bet for an ultra low carb diet if you want to start to improve your fat loss and health. So whole eggs, so all the egg, you want the yolk as well. Cheeses, coconut oil, natural butter, they're great for cooking in. People try them in coffees and teas. Mixed sort of feedback with the taste of that. I personally like coconut oil in like a warm drink, and I haven't tried butter myself, but you can try these mixes. But mainly they're good for cooking or just like a little teaspoon for like a treat, or sometimes it can help if someone's craving something sweet. They can have a bit of coconut oil or a tiny bit of butter. That can usually help it, and then you're only getting your fats from that. Avocados, salmon, but basically any sort of fish, but salmon, mackerel, tuna, things of that nature, sardines, you're going to get a nice omega-3 content of that as well. If you're out in a hurry or just for general convenience, whey protein shakes I recommend, not for every meal and not every day, but maybe like an hour after training or something like that, or if you're just out in a rush and you might be skipping like breakfast, but you want some sort of liquid in you in the morning, or then a protein shake, again low carb, that can be really handy. And vegetables can help to pack out meals, they can help to fill your stomach up a bit more without having to get extra carbohydrates, the sugary carbs, because vegetables are fibrous. Carbohydrates are seen as fibre. But if you don't like vegetables, you don't have to have them. And the good thing about whey protein and other proteins, they've got a high antioxidant called glutathione. They've got a high ratio of that in it, which is really powerful antioxidant, which can be better than some vegetables. So don't be thinking, oh, I need to have vegetables to be healthy. if you're getting some good meats and if you're getting like a good quality whey protein, you can be getting enough of your antioxidants, so don't worry about that. But if you like veg, feel free to put it in. Avoid things like butternut squash and swede, corn, too many peas sometimes. Things of that nature can be a bit sugary, but just check on the pack. And then if you don't, because I'm going to recommend cutting out milk, like cow's milk, but almond milk and coconut milk is a good substitute. It's a low sugary, low carb substitute that you can have a drop if you still prefer not having your tea and coffee black. You want to put some milk in that. That's a good low carb variant, and it can be a nice little drink on a night, something like that. Low carb cottage cheeses, low carb nuts, so you like almonds, walnuts, Brazil nuts, some cashews, something like that. But again, check on the pack. You can get that, can be a good part of your ketogenic high fat diet. And also heavy whipping cream or double cream, a teaspoon of that in a black coffee, or just a little scoop on its own. Again, that can be something that can get cravings, get rid of your cravings. So that's your general sort of list of things that you could have and should have in your house if you're wanting like an ultra low carb, high fat diet. Things to avoid. I'm going to run through these quickly. I don't want to yabber on too much, but basically it's carbohydrates, sugary, starchy foods. So we've got bread, toast, obviously, as well. High sugar cordial juices like orange juice, apple juice, cereal bars, potatoes, rice, cow's milk, goat's milk, sweets, cakes, biscuits, the obvious, fruit, just obviously sugar in your tea, just general table sugar. Again, avoid the meats and sausages that have carbohydrates added in, so look out for those. Sugar in your alcohol, so sugary alcoholic drinks. If you go back to my other videos about alcohol, you'll get a better idea what to do with that as well. Fizzy drinks. They're the basic sort of things. Obviously that list is probably extensive. It can be really long because things have added sugar to them. So just be careful of that. So basically what you're doing is you're dropping carbohydrates and sugary foods out your diet, and you replace them with high fat, moderate to high protein foods just by following this simple list. So, and the main reason that I believe this works, and what research is showing and things, that the main reason people get success on a fat or weight loss diet and keeping muscle burning fat is adherence. So just a diet that you can actually stick to, and a high fat diet and low carb is actually shown to be very satiating, so it keeps you full, it keeps you satisfied, and it's because our bodies want fat. So you eat fat, hormones get released that tell your brain that this is good, I've got enough fuel on board, this is a good source of energy and food. And you might find that you're missing meals because you're not hungry, but that's not always a bad thing, because your body's satisfied with what you've eaten, so you just end up eating less overall. And it becomes, if you're taking out a macronutrient such as carbohydrates, sugar out of your diet, glucose, it becomes very difficult to store fat as fat. So you're taking away that glycerol part of a triglyceride, which a bit scientific, but that's what's in a fat cell. So your body struggles to store fat, and it really likes to burn fat. So that's what we're trying to do. And the health reasons, I've done other videos on that. You can, just for the health reasons, that's what I would do, like a high fat diet even. And then the bonus of, I think it's like rapid, sustainable, healthy fat loss that's going to keep your muscle as well. So I think that's all I wanted to speak of today. Be creative in your meals. If you're getting bored of meals, then switch it around. You don't have to, as long as it's that list of high fat and you're not overeating. For a start, I wouldn't start counting things or anything. For the simple rule, I'd perhaps have 3 meals a day. Maybe hold off breakfast for a while, as I've spoke about that before. But if it's not convenient for you, you don't have to do that. It's not the end of the world. I'd go for 3 meals a day. Eat until you're just nice and satisfied. Wait 10 or 15 minutes after a meal if you think, oh, I might need something else, or have a glass of water. Often then your brain catches up and you've had a chance to get satiated and full from that meal. So yeah, 3 meals a day, and then I would recommend doing that for a start of 7 to 10 days without carbohydrates. And then in part 2 of this series, I'm going to show how you can introduce your favourite food, your treats, keep it sociable so you can go out and have whatever you want, or you can have that nice night in with your partner or your friends where you might have some sugary treats, and how to use them to your advantage. Spoke of it before, but I'm going to keep it in this sort of series and go into a bit more detail. So first of all, you're just dropping out your carbs and putting your fats in. You know what sort of foods to have, and then just don't overeat. Go for 2 or 3 meals a day. 3 seems to be a good number from what I've had feedback from my clients. And then I'll post another video next week of what to do after 7 to 10 days of this low carb period. And then also expect to be craving carbs. You might have had carbs all your life, or maybe since infancy. You might have always had carbohydrates in your diet. So it's very normal to feel a little bit groggy at first. You might feel a bit lightheaded, but just as long as you're eating enough to stay satisfied, those cravings will go away, and your energy it might drop a touch at first, but then as your brain gets used to using fat as a fuel source, because it hasn't done it in a while, it gets reported you get higher energy levels. So go through that sticking point of 2 or 3 days perhaps. Everyone's different, but you will get over it, and just stay strong and stick with it. So thanks for listening, guys, and I'll be back with part 2 hopefully sometime next week. So Robert Optimal Bodies, any questions, post in the comments below. If you think this diet might not be applicable to you, or that's too long for you to go without carbs because of your training or anything, send me a message and I'll do specific tweaks, which might be that 5 to 10% of people that are already quite lean. But for 90% of people that might not be able to see their abdominals and they think that they're slightly overweight, then this diet is probably going to be the best for you. So thanks for listening, guys. Cheers.